Hello, everyone, and welcome to week number 6 of Roll for Roll, where we attempt to play Dungeons and Dragons. As you can see, we're missing a couple people tonight. Marwin, unfortunately, is going dropped it like flies. He is he's dealing with some personal stuff tonight, but so he's not going to be joining us. But with that, I am Gozira. I am the DM, and you can find me on Twitter at Gozira with 3 R's. You can also see the links below. With that, let's go down the line and introduce our players. So we'll start with Hope. Who are you and what do you do? And where can we find you?
Well, my name is Lightnevaeh. I play a Tiefling named Hope. She's a Warlock. You can find all the information down the bottom.
All right. I'm Ted. I play Axton, who's a human fighter / cleric. And you can find me down below there at Nerd Immersion everywhere.
And I am Kugo. You might know me around the internet as Kugo the Mighty, which is my handle for everything and anything. I am playing the Dragonborn Barbarian Vrax, and I am so excited to see what our DM has in store for us.
A couple announcements. First, we are 4 followers away from our first follower goal. You can see what our follower goals are down below. Thank you to everyone who has followed and liked what we did and are doing. So if you missed any part of part 1, part 2, or part 3, we go for 3 hours. You can find them on YouTube, which is also linked down below. So let's kind of get a little synopsis of what's been going on here. So our adventurers, after slaying a boar during the Lovers Fest over in Hellbrook, which is on the southern continent, were treated to a grand prize of a home. This home contained several artifacts that the group doesn't really understand and don't really like. While exploring the house, they stumbled upon a portal which took them to a ruined castle where they met Monbin the Spark, a very old ancient blue dragon who has apparently lost his spark and let 3 of the companions go without killing them in exchange for a debt for his spark to be returned within a year. Otherwise, he will rain destruction on the world. Finding more about the artifacts in the room, they entered into a guild known as the Monsters of Jakeen, where their trial led them to go fight a gibbering mouther, which unfortunately ripped in half one of their companions. In desperate need of aid, they left Hellbrook and headed south towards Star Hollow, a farming small community town where they found a temple of Bahamut. Unfortunately, they could not find a diamond to resurrect the recently deceased Victor Garlandia. In exchange for the resurrection of their friend, they asked a priest from the temple asked if Marin's mercenaries could help them out. Reluctantly and feeling a little blackmailed, as Vrax would put it, they accepted and headed to Sleet Yard, where they found out that all the children have been disappearing and supposedly kidnapped by a wolf-like entity. While going over what exactly they should be doing to help out the town and gathering a little bit more information on certain people within the town, they heard a scream from a woman outside, and they ended up finding a young man clawed to death. Gathered around is a crowd, and our adventurers are standing right in front of it. So that's where we continue now. So Axton, Vrax, and Hope and Marwin are all standing around the dead body of a 19-year-old boy who looks to be clawed to death, covered in blood. It was the same boy from earlier where they stopped a bullying of another kid within the town.
Right. And if I recall correctly, right before we left last time, you had said I saw what's his face, Alex there, like slinking away into the slums.
Well,
like,
he
into
wasn't.
an
He wasn't
alleyway.
really slinking back.
He was
Yeah.
just watching. Okay.
He looked, and then you saw this kind of worried look on his face, and he dipped back.
Okay.
Yeah. And about this time, you hear, kind of over the crowd that's talking, out of my way. What is the meaning of this? And you kind of look over your shoulder, and it's the mayor, and he's pushing his way through the crowd. He goes, "Stand aside, watch it!" What? And he kind of stops dead in his tracks. And he has this very distraught look on his face. And he pushes past you, Axton, and runs over and gets down on his knees and says, no, and starts letting out a cry and a scream that only a father who has just lost his son could let out. He cradles.
It's very descriptive.
Yeah. He
I'm
cradles.
gathering what's happening here.
Yeah. He cradles the boy in his arms and kind of starts rocking back and forth, and frantically he starts looking around. Who did this? Who did this to my son? Did you do this? Who saw this? He's looking around and he's frantic at this point.
All right. Then I'll kind of, since he pushed past me, kind of walk over and start to try to block people off, and just give him some space and start trying to hurdle the crowd away from this guy, since he's distraught in the middle of the street. And did we happen to see the woman or the that initially found him? I don't know if we would know who that was, but
I mean, by the time you got out there was a small crowd gathered, and now it's a much larger crowd. He stands up and kind of grabs your shirt, Axton. Says, Did you see this? Who did this? Speak!
I kind of compose myself a little bit, and I say, no, we heard the scream. We came running outside just like everybody else here. I have no idea who did this, but...
Did you see who was talking to him? Anything?
The, earlier today, when we first entered town, that, Alex Vrax, the one we asked you about when we came in, we saw he was bullying this Alex character who eventually they kind of went their separate ways, but that's all we saw.
He turns to a guard. Go find Alex. Bring him here now. And the guard kind of, dips his head down. Sorry, that's pretty loud.
I think that's a rather good idea.
And so the guard starts taking off towards the slums. And he just sits back down and just holds his son for a moment.
I'll kind of kneel down next to him and looking around, seeing all these people here. Just I know you're distraught, but perhaps we should get you and your son away from all of this, the crowd and everyone here. Is there a safe place we can take you to where the guard will come find you, just so we can get you away from all these onlookers?
I'm not going to leave my son.
All right. Well, again, and I will.
And he
again
he picks up his son, and he starts making his way back over to the mayor's house, and he says, "Follow me."
Okay. again, kind of in front of him, just make a hole and just push people out of the way. Just try to give him some space to get him through there easily.
Yeah. People start moving, start dividing up, and you guys eventually make your way back over to the mayor's house. He places them into a bed, and God, that's so loud. He places them into a bed, and he calls over for some way to clean him up and basically get him prepared for any funeral arrangements or anything like that. He turns to you and says, Will you help me avenge my son?
I will.
Have we followed him or?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm yeah.
I will help you bring to justice whoever is responsible for this.
Whatever.
Finding this Alex person is a good first step.
Whatever provisions you need. Whatever you need.
I know this is nothing like this has ever happened before. Correct? Attacks during the day, nothing at all like this. Okay.
There's been no murders.
Just kidnappings. Aside from this Alex, do you have any suspicions at all of anyone else in the town that could be responsible for anything like this?
No. Pretty much everyone keeps to themselves.
It might be wise to speak with this Alex boy again and whoever else might be related to him by blood.
You know, and he kind of taps on his table. Ever since we took in those refugees from Whitebell, we've had too much stuff on our hands. It could be one of those.
Well, any interrogations or questionings that will proceed from here on out, I'd like to oversee them. I may be able to help determine who's lying and who's telling the truth
Kind of takes a
through
moment
magical
and
means.
nods his head, and I think that would be the wisest. If you need anything, I will be here with my son.
Of course.
And he kind of shows you to the door.
Head outside into the street and just see what kind of state the town is in.
Yeah. At this point in time, kind of people were gathered around in small groups, like just talking, like, "Oh, I've never seen a dead body before." Like just murmurs and stuff like that. Nothing really that catches your ear. Right now it's about 3 o'clock. It's been about 30 minutes since the guard left,
Okay.
and the guard hasn't returned.
I don't know
I think that we were gonna luck out and not need to do the searching on our own, but it seems we might
We
be
might have to
searching
go
for
follow.
another, or we'll be looking for another dead body pretty soon.
Well, they said Alex lived in the slum district, which is, I'll kind of point over to where I know it to be. So I feel like that's as good a place as I need to start.
Maybe in the meantime, we should tell the guard to announce to stay in groups of 2, but everybody around. Because if this child or man or whoever was by himself with no witnesses. Who else would be after?
It's hard to say. The children have been snatched out from their own homes. If it's capable of doing something like that seamlessly, may not matter. If he can kill one person in plain sight in the middle of the day without anyone seeing him.
Correct.
All I know is we need to speak with these people who are suspicious, and we also have some children out there that we possibly know where they might be, if they are indeed even still alive.
So, is there a guard around?
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 guards right outside the home.
I turn to one, or go to one of the guards, and I tell him, could you do me a favor and make sure you tell everyone around here to stay together. Don't be alone. We don't know what's going to happen next.
I think that's a wonderful idea. We've also doubled our patrols just in case whatever it is tries to attack again. So we'll go around and inform.
Very good. Thank you.
And before they leave, I just want to... Joseph said something about refugees from White Bell. Where would they be found?
Here and there, depends on the wealth of how they were.
You guys are out here on the streets patrolling. Have you seen anything suspicious recently since these refugees arrived?
Not since the refugees arrived. They've been here for about 7-8 months, maybe.
Alright, and have you seen, well, aside from the refugees, anything at all out of the ordinary? Anything that can help us try to get any kind of purchase on what to look for?
If we saw anything out of the ordinary, we would have already acted upon it. It's tough as it is, trying to keep townspeople in line. But if we do see anything suspicious, since you are close to Joseph, we'll make sure that we bring it to your ear.
All right. Well, your associate set out after Alex and has not returned. We are going to patrol or look around the slum district where he's supposed to live. Hopefully, we can turn something up and reconvene with you and Joseph soon. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
Start heading off towards that slum, that where I saw Alex kind of dip back, head over into that area.
To the slums.
To the slums. So, all right, so you guys start heading west towards the slums. And, I mean, looking down, there's a couple of people walking around. Are you looking for Alex or are you looking for the guard?
Well, I would like to head kind of to where I saw Alex and just see if there's anything there, signs of footsteps, maybe signs of a struggle, if this guard was there, any kind of anything.
Make a perception check.
I was gonna ask if it looked slummy or if it looked kind of quiet, even for slummy part. I've lived in the slums before.
24.
So, like, the slums they're just makeshift homes that are just built out of, wood and kind of thrown away material. You can tell that they were probably put there just to house additional people since the refugees came over. and you know, it's just a poor part of town. So, looking about, since you rolled a 24, looking about, I mean, there's footsteps down there. You kind of see heavier footsteps from you know, somebody who's wearing armor from a guard. But there's so much traffic that comes in and out of places. It's kind of, it doesn't look like there's signs of a struggle or anything like that. It just looks like he went off into the slums, the general direction.
Okay. Well, this is where I last saw Alex. Here, I don't see any signs of struggle or any particular footsteps, so I don't know if it's worth trying to question anybody out here. I don't know if they'll give us an answer anyway.
Is there any people around?
There's a couple of people. Axton, actually, you know what? You hear crying. Like a young man crying.
Okay. I, again, kind of look to everybody else and say, I don't know if you hear that, but it sounds like there's someone crying, whimpering of some kind over, and I'll just kind of head towards...
I'm with you.
Wherever that is.
I'm following behind.
Okay. So you turn down a couple streets, and eventually you come to a like an alleyway where there's a building on the backside and building on two sides. It's a dead end alleyway. At the very end of it, you notice Alex, and he's kind of sobbing in the back.
All right. Is there any other way out of this alley?
Nope.
Okay. Well, that...
I'm going to stay back a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay at the end of the alley, and I'll just kind of... I'm going to give Axton a nod and just say, I'll be here.
All right. Going to walk down the alley, very, very cautious, like I'm approaching like a skittish animal, like very non-threatening, kind of hands up. It's like
His
slowly walk.
His back is to you.
Okay.
Are you trying to be stealthy, or are you just trying to walk?
No, just non-threatening. As I get about halfway towards him, I'm just gonna say, Alex. Yeah, right. No. That's not at all Axton. Also, he's not strong enough to do that. So, about when I get about halfway down the alley, I'm just gonna just say, Alex. You know, hands up in front of me.
He turns and he looks frightened and terrified.
All right.
What?
Easy.
What do you want?
Okay. It's calm down. Easy. I saw you looking frightened and scared, and the town is looking for you right now. Joseph Smith seems to feel like you are implicated in the death of his son.
No.
And I
didn't do that.
Okay, all right, easy. I'm here to help prove that you didn't do that. But right now, the longer you're away from this, the more suspicious people are getting. They sent a guard to find you, and he has a half an hour ago, and he has not returned. Do you know anything about who might have done this? Anything at all?
He wasn't supposed to kill him. He told me he would never kill him. He just wanted to make him pay for what they've done.
Okay. Who is gonna make them pay?
My brother, Travis. You're not gonna hurt him, are you?
No, I'd like to speak with him though, if that would be at all possible. If you could point.
I don't think that's possible.
Why would that be?
He kind of lets out a sigh. Everyone here thinks he's dead. He fought in the war, but he, by all accounts, should be dead. Something happened to him, and Now,
Is he dangerous?
Yes.
Would he ever hurt you?
I don't know. I don't think so. I just wanted to have these people pay for what they've done to me. He said he'd never hurt anybody, though.
I believe you. I have a way to ensure that you're telling the truth, and I can exonerate you from any of this guilt if you'll just come with us back to the town.
If I go to the town, they're going to kill me.
I promise you they won't. I'm here. I'm not an executioner. I'm here. I promise to help bring to justice whoever did this. That is not by any means death. Justice is justice. I promise. You say you don't do this, I believe you. I just want to make sure that you don't get blamed for something you didn't do, and a guard who is a little heavy-handed doesn't take matters into their own hands on Joseph's orders. Because if they were to find you, I can't guarantee you'd be safe at all.
Roll a persuasion check.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Oh, God.
Can I help him on that?
No, you didn't say anything.
Yeah, no, it's all me.
Darn.
13.
He said, as much as I would like to believe you, you're just here. You don't live here. I don't think you have enough say so in the town to keep them from doing that. I will say this, though, and it might help. I just want this to be over.
So do we.
I can take you to the children.
That'd be a start. Please. Again, if you take us to the children, I will, and my companions, I'm sure, will speak that you brought us to them, and that will only help your case for your innocence. And again, I will do everything in my power to ensure that you are treated fairly in this. I do not wish to fight the town guard and fight against this Joseph Smith, but if I have to defend you for your right to at least a fair trial and to prove your innocence, I will do so. I promise you that. So please, just take us to the children.
We have to be quiet about it, too. I don't know where Travis is.
Okay. We'll be on the lookout. Can you give us anything about his description in case we do happen to see him so we know who we're looking for?
I'll point him out to you.
Fair enough.
He kind of pulls back into the shadows a little bit and says, please, let's be quiet about this. Follow me.
All right, and I'll kind of motion to Vrax to come down the alley.
Yep, we follow.
And again, I'll just kind of quickly, I don't know if you heard that, he's going to take us to the children. So I don't believe he's implicated in any of this. Just a scared kid in the wrong place at the wrong time. Follow him.
Keep your eyes and ears out, nonetheless.
Exactly.
Yeah, everyone. Are you gonna be stealthy in it, or are you just gonna?
I mean, I can try. It won't be very pretty, but I can try.
It's up to you guys.
I mean, if the guards catch us with him, it's gonna look bad on us.
I'll go ahead and I'll send Celeste out to keep an eye out. She'll warn us.
I'll say you guys have an advantage on stealth checks just because of her raven and kind of hope
Let's
going
do
to
it.
stop, kind of thing.
All right, then I'll just roll at normal stealth, so I won't have disadvantage because of my armor. So that makes me feel a little bit better.
Advantage.
22.
21.
Ooh,
It's a natural 20
that's
for
a natural
you.
20.
Dragon Man's a little sneaky.
All right,
17.
17.
So-
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you guys, in following Alex through the slums and kind of out past like a little broken part of the wall that's set up around town, having to stop every once in a while and wait for people to pass, but you eventually make your way out of the town. He starts leading you guys west towards the ancient forest, which is the neighboring of the big lake off to your right. It's about a 20-25 minute walk to get to the entrance of the forest, but eventually and the forest looks extremely thick. The trees are very, very, very tall. The trees are really wide around too. Like think of what are the red oaks or redwoods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, think
Sure.
of those. Like that's how big these trees are, and they're just smaller trees that encompass around them and stuff. And he kind of leads you down a path, like a little makeshift path that he's pulling branches off and pulling them back in as everyone passes through. Another 15 or 20 minutes goes by, and eventually you make it to the mouth of a cave. And he's still looking extremely distraught, very shaken up by the whole thing. Do you guys want to talk to him? Do you guys want to
Yeah,
do anything?
I want to kind of reach out to him and kind of, assuredly, but gingerly put my hand on his shoulder and say, no, this can't be easy for you, but you're doing the right thing. And just, helping us to find these children is the right thing to do. And I don't think you're a bad person, and I just thank you for this.
Well, I just wanted everybody just to know that I didn't mean for anybody to get hurt. I didn't mean for anybody to get. I just wanted them to feel my fear and my pain.
I realize that may have led to events that you didn't wish to have happen, and I promise this will all be sorted out.
About that time, you hear a familiar voice kind of peep up behind you. As you turn and look, it is your pirate companion.
What?
It can't be.
Victor?
Victor?
There?
Can't hear you, Victor.
He can't speak.
No.
What
It
has
must
happened?
be a ghost. It must be a ghost.
Don't touch him, Vrax. See if he's real.
Vrax is standing trembling at the sight.
You get any response?
It says, "It's be a long journey, and I'll make sure that I inform you what's happened." And then you hear another voice. "Nobody's going anywhere. Sorry about this reunion that you are having. As you look over, it's a taller human. And Alex starts to look terrified. Alex, you disappoint me. And your friends here are going to have to pay for that. And he kind of grips in his chest, pulls his shirt a little bit as his skin starts to tear off his skin just starts to tear off. And underneath you see...
This is... Alex, get behind us. Just...
Mm-hmm. As you see his face elongating into a snout, into a wolf-like snout. His skin falling off of him as fur replaces the skin. And before you see a very large, very fearsome werewolf. And that's where we're going to take our 5-minute break. So stick around. We'll be back in about 5 minutes.
What the hell is going on right now?
I know. Right?